I pasted a screenshot of a broken login form directly into my editor's sidebar, asked what was wrong with it, and got back the exact CSS issue causing the misalignment, along with the actual file already opened and ready to fix. That's not a chatbot describing code to you. That's an agent sitting inside your actual editor, seeing your files, seeing you screenshots, and making real changes with your permission. And setting it up correctly involves one specific piece of confusion almost everyone runs into on their first attempt. It works because there's a real coding agent running underneath all of this, and the interface you're clicking around inside your editor is just a window into that agent, not a separate product pretending to be one. I only share methods I test myself, so every setup step and every gotcha in this video came from actually configuring and running this myself. Quick ask before we start. Like this video and subscribe. It genuinely helps. Let's clear up the naming confusion first, because this is exactly where people get stuck before they've even started coding. SuperGrok is a subscription tier, your actual paid access to the underlying models and the coding agent. It's not a piece of software you install. Grok Build is the actual coding agent itself, XAI's tool that plans changes, edits files, runs commands, and connects to external tools. And it's built terminal first, meaning XAI ships it as a command line tool, not as a built-in graphical interface inside your editor. Grok 4.5 is the underlying model powering that agent, the flagship model as of its recent release, and it's simply the default choice Grok Build uses unless you switch it to something else. Here's the detail that trips people up the most. XAI doesn't currently offer their own official graphical extension for VS Code. What most people actually use is a free open-source community-built extension that wraps that same official CLI agent inside a proper editor interface. Sidebar chat, diff previews, permission approvals, session management, built by an independent developer, not by XAI itself. That's not a downgrade, it's a genuinely capable GUI, but it's worth knowing you're installing a community wrapper around an official tool, not a first-party product, since that distinction matters if you're troubleshooting or looking for support. Now let's cover access, because this genuinely doesn't work on every account tier. You need one of three things to actually run the coding agent: a SuperGrok subscription, an X Premium Plus subscription, or a standalone XAI API key. And critically, Grok's free tier does not include this coding agent at all. No workaround changes that. If you're testing this on a free account and wondering why nothing works, that's not a bug, that's the actual access requirement working exactly as designed. Let's walk through the actual installation now, step by step. Open your editor's extensions panel and search specifically for the community Grok Build extension. Confirm you're looking at the correct one by checking it's built for the current editor version, since older editor builds aren't supported. Install it, then open the dedicated sidebar using its specific keyboard shortcut, which triggers a setup wizard. That wizard handles two things for you automatically: installing the underlying command line agent if it's not already on your system, and walking you through signing in using either your subscription through a browser-based login flow or a pasted API key if you're going the pay-as-you-go route instead. Once signed in, the sidebar opens right alongside your code, and you're running the same underlying agent whether you're typing in the terminal or clicking in this graphical interface. They're two windows into the exact same tool. Let's cover a real capability that shows why this setup is worth the initial confusion. I dragged a screenshot of a broken interface element directly into the chat sidebar and asked what was wrong with it, since the extension accepts image input directly, not just text. It analyzed the visual layout issue in that screenshot, correctly identified a specific spacing and alignment problem in the underlying styling, and located the actual file in my project responsible for that specific component, offering a direct fix I could review before applying. That combination, visual understanding plus direct file access, plus an actual proposed code change, is a genuinely different workflow than describing a bug in words and manually translating the answer back into your codebase yourself. Now here's the mistake that's actually costing people real time right now, specifically because of when this model rolled out. This flagship model wasn't available in the European Union at its initial launch, and if you're in that region and see a model not available error or get stuck in a repeating sign-in loop, that's not your setup being broken, that's a genuine regional access gap that existed at launch. Access has since expanded to the EU, but if you're running an older version of the extension, you might still be hitting a stale check left over from before that expansion. The fix is straightforward. Update your extension to the latest version first, since access rollouts like this typically require an updated build to actually recognize your region correctly, and only start deeper troubleshooting, checking your account, your subscription status, your API key, after confirming you're not simply running outdated software still checking against an old access list. This is a genuinely useful lesson beyond just this one tool. When something region-specific rolls out gradually, always rule out a stale extension version before assuming your setup is the problem, before assuming your account itself is the problem. Here's the golden tip that actually makes this workflow smoother once you're past initial setup. Any tool servers you've already configured for the command line version of this agent carry over automatically into the editor extension, meaning if you've already connected external data sources or tools at the terminal level, you don't need to reconfigure any of that separately inside the graphical interface. It inherits your existing setup entirely. If you're already using a different multi-provider coding tool, several popular open-source coding agents now support signing in directly with this same subscription through account-based login, meaning you're not locked into this specific extension if you'd rather keep one unified coding tool that also supports switching between several different AI providers instead of using one dedicated extension per company. Choosing between a dedicated single provider extension and a broader multi-provider tool really comes down to whether you want the deepest possible integration with one specific ecosystem, or the flexibility to switch models entirely depending on the task in front of you. I test new AI deals every week. If a new free method comes out, you'll see it here first. One last practical note before you go set this up yourself. This entire space is moving fast. Extension updates, regional access changes, and even which subscription tiers unlock which features shift regularly. So if something described here doesn't match what you're seeing, check for an extension update before assuming your setup is wrong. Confirm your current subscription-specific access directly in your account settings before building a serious workflow around a feature you read about somewhere else. In the next video, I'm comparing this exact agent against a couple of other major coding agents on the same real refactoring task, side by side. Speed, accuracy, and how each one actually handles a large, messy codebase, so you know exactly which one to reach for on your next project. Subscribing is the only way you'll see that comparison before you decide yourself.